Oh, wait.
Oh, BP again.
BP rematch. All right, come on, you got it this time.
Oh, no. Gotta go on a run.
You're finished now.
Speed.
Remember what we talked about?
Ooh, touch that bat ball.
You got some nice dunk packages on you.
Just like real life.
Oh, no.
Premature
That's
pull-up.
what we talked about. If Scott was
go ahead,
here,
go ahead. I'll give you the
we
win.
would not be happy with you.
Got too excited.
Well, I blocked it.
Well,
Well, maybe I didn't. No way. I can't stop that. He shot that from behind the backboard.
How tall is your guy, Ronnie?
6'9". This represents me pretty well. A rebounder slasher who can't do anything. Oh, I got Pucho.
It's not gonna be any easier.
No, it's not.
Oh, he's quick.
oh,
That's a good foul, Ronnie.
Clearly, this guy's also a rebounding slasher.
all right. Lock in, Ronnie.
Oh, man.
No. All right, come on, Ronnie. We need to end on a W.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Here we are with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, Ernie Johnson. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Everyone is in their seat here in the arena as the Suns look to grab a hometown win in Phoenix. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan with Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, our sideline reporter David Aldridge. Sacramento is working their way through a road trip going into today's game. And, of course, Brandon Ingram, a new phase in his career, playing today as a Sacramento King for a first time.
And speaking of the trade, I spoke to him earlier, and, man, was he excited about getting the opportunity at a fresh start. He thinks he'll be able to get them to that next level, and I'm sure that's what their thought process was when they made the deal.
And with tip-off coming up, we've got just enough time to hear from our good friend David Aldridge on the sideline. D.A., take it away.
Well, guys, Sacramento Kings coach Dave Yeager started out coaching in the minor leagues. And every year he'd attend NBA training camps, but especially ones with teams that had big roster turnover. He said a coach who's had his team together calls out a drill, and everybody does it. But to watch those guys teach and put it all together, that was where you really learned. Kevin?
Thanks, David, and it's clear that Coach Yeager is a details guy, an impressive young coach. And the season just getting underway. Chris, we've heard some players and coaches say that the 82-game regular season schedule is a bit too long. What do you think?
I think they've been playing 82 games since the seasons and since players that before us have come along, and I think that we keep in that same tradition. I think we're the only sport that constantly talks about changing the number of games and everything else. I don't know how you keep tradition. I don't know how you keep numbers, statistics. So at 82 games, I don't feel is too much. I mean, look at the money players are getting paid to now. There's more incentive. So at 82 games, I've done it. It's not too hard. You're going to get injuries. You're going to be tired, but this is a tough job, and, you know, guys are strong enough to handle it. I'm an 82-game guy, as you can see. I'll keep saying 82 games, 82 games, 82
Clear
games.
as a bell, I can see you're an 82-game guy.
Yeah.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the floor for Sacramento. Inside, it's Zebo and Cauley Stein. Bogdanovich out there with Fox, and it's Ingram in at the 3 slot. Count the basket.
And it's important for Cauley Stein's confidence that he gets these interior shots to fall. The more he sees the ball go in, the more assured he will feel down inside.
Now here's Payton. Pass to Gobert. Here's Mitchell. They set the pick. And it's Bosch in the corner. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Payton. And the rejection by Cauley Stein. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off the shot. 24-second violation. About 1 minute into the first quarter. Fox kicks to Randolph. Cauley Stein a screen. Back to Randolph. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Right in his wheelhouse. Randolph putting in work in the paint.
Gobert the screen. Payton kicks to Gobert. Here's Mitchell. Hits the three-point bomb.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
A lot of times your defense is your offense is your defense. This is core decision-making right here. You can't let them have that shot. Also might have been a lack of effort.
Here's Ingram. Phoenix able to drain the three. Cauley Stein with a screen on Payton. Here's Fox. He doesn't hit that one. Good D by Payton. Shoots from 12, and he's able to get it back. Feeds it to Mitchell. Bosch, the screen. 5 on the clock. Lets it go with the 3. And it's Mitchell missing.
He's still looking to get into a groove this quarter.
And it's Bogdanovich in the corner. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Cauley Stein passes to Fox. Over Payton and off the front iron, and in it goes.
And the experience that Fox is garnering. This is a guy who is used to having hands in his face, but it doesn't seem to affect him in the slightest.
Now here's Payton. He had a 27-point outing in their last game against Houston.
And made a big mark at the free throw line as well. He got himself to the strike a lot and cashed in when he had his chances.
Here's Bogdanovich. It's a 3-point game. There's the feed to Fox. Randolph sets a screen for Fox. Picked by Randolph. Here's Bogdanovich. Misses the 3. for the Kings. They come in off the loss to the Nuggets.
Well, listen, I've seen worse performances offensively, but no doubt that group was inconsistent.
It would look like they had to figure out to take a couple bad shots and be right back to where they started.
First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Fox against Payton. Fox kicks to Bogdanovich. Randolph a screen. Bogdanovich, no luck. Phoenix has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Here's Mitchell. He is covered by Bogdanovich. Now Payton still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
And so far this quarter, he's been a little off on his game.
Yeah, the scoring, I mean, it's not coming easy for him. You have to get into a little rhythm, but that's when you can make the extra pass. Play the role of the facilitator.
Now here's Ingram. He feeds it to Fox. Chris Bosh with the rebound.
Even that close to the bucket, that's a very tough finish in that kind of traffic.
Greg, you asked a lot of GMs. De'Aaron Fox, probably the fastest player in this year's rookie class.
And he plays at 1 speed. That's lightning. I mean, he's got speed to burn. Maybe not quite as fast as, say, John Wall, but he isn't far behind. He uses that quickness well also in terms of just busting seams on the offense. And at the other end, he can be an outstanding defender as he was at Kentucky.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Move shots.
No good on the free throw. Chris, you had some amazing years with the Kings. Thinking back on it, what was one of your favorite moments in this jersey?
Wow, clinching the West in 2002. Really thought that was going to be our year. Having my jersey retired by the team was pretty special as well. And, you know, just the fans, you know, when you're getting buckets in front of those fans, it's nothing like it. And so just the memories I have being part of the community of Sacramento.
Now here's Cauley Stein. Picked by Randolph. Cauley Stein dishes to Fox. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And how about the way Fox continues to improve his game? A capable scorer who also rebounds the ball well for his size. And still, though, he can improve on that perimeter jump shot.
The Kings shooting their first foul shots of the night here. No good on that one.
And up and down this Suns roster, there is a ton of youth. One of the younger teams in our league last season, and that was weighted with Tyson Chandler's age. A lot of young players looking to make their mark here in the NBA.
And he's good on the second. And last season, the Suns broke their franchise record for the youngest starting 5 the team has ever put on the court on multiple occasions.
Yeah, and with those young lineups, you could see the benefits, but also the concerns. I mean, they got a lot of extended looks at young players, and this team figures to have a bright future. But let's face it, there were some inconsistent stretches because of that youth. It's always difficult for a young group to learn how to become efficient and effective in the half court.
And here are the Kings now, following the score by Phoenix. Randolph in the post, working on Bosh. And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel. The Suns leading. Payton kicks to Bosch. The dish to Mitchell. Out of bounds. Sacramento will take possession. Well, while we have a second, let's go to the 2K leaderboard for a list of the league's top shooters from last season. Rudy Gobert is second.
Put the ball in the bucket. I mean, that's the name of the game, right? I mean, just ask him. He'll have the answer for you.
Fox with it. 11 points for him in that last game against Denver.
Well, he also made a mark with his passing and had the assist total to show for it.
Tries from 16, and the shot goes in. Randolph's got his second bucket tonight.
More than comfortable operating from mid-range. Easy money for Randolph.
Here's the screen. Mitchell kicks to Jackson. Dishes it to Bosch. No good. Some solid defense from Randolph. The Kings leading. Now, here's Fox. Kicks to Randolph. Over Bosch. Randolph can't hit. Phoenix has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Payton passes to Mitchell. To the inside. Gobert. And slam dunk by Gobert.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Now here's Cauley Stein. Picked by Randolph. Off the screen. Fox, no good.
Now, that's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Well, that takes physical ability, good timing, those two things that he possesses.
And Aaron Fox gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. So for the Suns, Lenz checked in for Bosch. Troy Daniels comes in for Mitchell, and Tyler Ewis subbed in for Elfrid Payton. Scal Labissière's checked in for Sacramento. Mason checks in for Fox. Now, here's Ewis. The pass to Daniels. Just 5 to shoot. And so the ball is out of bounds. Bogdanovich touched it last.
And you love the effort. Just getting the hand in there and knocking it out.
Well, some of that, too, is just setting the tone by being aggressive. You need guys like this on your team.
Catching up on the changes for Phoenix. Allen Williams comes in for Gobert. And Ian Clark subbed in for Jackson. And then for Sacramento, Carter comes in for Brandon Ingram. And it's Jackson in for Bogdanovich. Outside Jackson. He kicks to Mason. And here is Labissière. Pass to Carter. They set the pick. Off the pick. Here's Cauley Stein. And there's the bucket. Staying with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
Oh, man, the relentless pursuit of the basketball by Cauley Stein. Just a tremendous hustler on the offensive glass.
Well, one thing that Dave Yeager has provided in Sacramento, Chris, is a connection to the core members of the team.
Yeah, and having your star player believe in Coach Yeager and vice versa makes life a lot easier for this team. You can't get very far with infighting between coaches and players. That's something the Kings have battled even before Yeager's tenure.
So it's Sacramento now. Phoenix able to drain the three. Here's Mason. They get it back. Phoenix has gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give them 2 chances at the free throw line here. Well, we always talk about how different eras of the NBA had different feels and how the game was called and how the game was played. Chris, what is the biggest change you have seen to the game since your era?
2 changes. One, you can't hand check. And that's really physical. That used to wear you down, take you out the game, and that stopped the freedom of movement. And that, along with playing the zone, where you can't just guard a guy and have to stay in your area. Those are 2 big changes because it really helped the offense. And so we want to see a lot of scoring, but today it's not easier to score because these guys have wonderful skill sets, but the game makes it easier to score because of the rules, because you can get to the line so many times. Because before a hand check, you couldn't get to the free throw line if a guy pushed you out of bounds almost, because the game was expected to be physical.
Right, right. And so he hits both.
Well, you know what this Suns team wants to do when they go up against you? They are looking to get out in the open floor and get easy baskets off transition. One of the best teams in the league when it comes to capitalizing on the break.
Here is Mason. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. He dishes it to Carter. From deep. Carter can't get that one to fall. And in general, this Suns team looks to push the tempo, Greg, and play at a very high pace whenever they can.
You know, if you look over the history of the franchise, they've always been at their best when they've played that style. The Suns and that run and gun mentality just seem to go hand in hand. And I think also it happens to work well with the athletes that are presently on this roster.
The shot by Cauley Stein, no good.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Yeah, he has that capacity. He knows exactly where to position himself to protect the rim.
Here's Clark. Williams dishes to Ulis. And the Suns miss again. The Kings trail by 4. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And Labissiere gets it to go.
Not many defenders can stop Labissiere when he's near the bucket. I mean, he's so good at using his length to get these shots off.
Clark kicks to Daniels. Here's Clark, guarded by Jackson. Glenn, a screen. And that's out of bounds. Phoenix will retain possession. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Suns.
And they've pretty much ignored the corner three tonight. It's a useful shot to have. It really forces the D out wide and opens things up in the middle.
Ulis can't get it to go.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
Here is Mason. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. There's the screen. Well, Willie Cauley Stein, out of Kentucky, a player who many thought would eventually become a big-time center in the league, was taken 6th overall in 2015. That surprised some people, but he has had a hard time finding his place in this NBA.
Well, for Cauley Stein, some of it has been opportunity, but also just consistency. You know, he's shown some flashes of greatness for moments, but he rarely puts together a stretch of those big games.
And that one falls for Cauley Stein.
When you think of Cauley Stein, the word length comes to mind. A huge target on offense and a tenacious shot blocker and rebounder on the defensive end.
That one drops. He ties it up.
And one of the side effects of the Cousins trade was it did open up more playing time for Willie Cauley Stein. I mean, immediately he was able to step in and fill those minutes and became a much larger part of their offense.
Daniels with it, defended by Carter. Here's Williams, and the Suns miss again.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
The best laid plans, right? Well, I tell you right there, though, that's one they'll take every single time.
Hey, Greg, when Cauley Stein got those extra minutes after the Cousins deal, you could see a change in his play. Much more aggressive, much more confident.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it just takes a clear path to minutes to change a player. Cauley Stein had been getting better and better before the trade. Having the team believe he could step in was a huge boost in his confidence and his play.
Here is Mason. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Cauley Stein, a screen. They set the screen. Here's Labissiere, and no good trying to get that one. And there's the horn. We've seen some good defense on both sides, and the score is still close. Phoenix ahead, up 2. 2K Sports, back to Phoenix after this. And now a chance to hear from Chris Bosh about what it meant to him to become an NBA player, the fulfillment of a lifelong dream.
I was obsessed with the NBA as a kid, and just like I would have died to get in that locker room, you know, so I always have a moment.
What a great cut from Chris Bosh. That's the kind of guy you can't help, Greg, but love for his attitude and ability to be, you know, in touch with that kid he once was. I know you played the same way. Chris Bosh is living the dream like you did and loving it.
That's a great point, Kevin. And I think most of the guys in the league feel that same way. I mean, they may not be able to say it or articulate it as smoothly as Chris does,
sure.
but inside every NBA player is a kid who's still thrilled to wear the uniform and play the game they love.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. What stands out to you from the Suns in this one?
I mean, what's interesting for me, first quarter, they're already getting points from their reserves.
Well, that's what helped fuel this league. They caught the defense a little bit off guard.
They've got Ulis playing out there with Williams. Then there's Ian Clark, and it's Daniels in at the 3. So that's the Suns' 5 as we get into the second quarter. Now here is Carter over Daniels. Here's Cauley-Stein. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Man, he's got such a great touch and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
For Sacramento, they have shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4. That one misses. And Chris, in your playing days, you had to deal with media answering questions. Now you're on the other side of that. You're asking the questions. What was your view of the media then, and has that changed at all?
My view of the media then was watch what you say, because they would take the smallest soundbite and turn it into the title of the article, and if you don't read the article, you will not see that it had anything to do with what was written. So always be cautious, and of course they're good members of the media, but you can always get gotten. I still feel the same way, that you just need to be honest, respect the process, but make sure that you understand that the interviewer is doing their job, and it would be a great notch in their belt to use one of your quotes as a gotcha moment. And so I just think you just have to be careful and make sure that you're prepared for the interview. But no, it hasn't changed, and hopefully, you know, Kev, like yourself, I could bring some levity to it and some honesty to it and have some fun, because at the end of the day, I'm a fan of all these guys. I know how hard they had to work to get to this moment. I know the ups and the downs of it. I've experienced the highs and the lows, and so I'm really just kind of going through it with them, as opposed to trying to prove any points or have a dog in any race. So no, my opinion of the media has changed. There's a lot of good people, but you got to just respect the process.
But I like what you said, Chris. You've always been honest, and that's kind of been your label. You've been very honest with your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's easier just to do that, especially when I'm passionate about something. You know, I definitely try to be honest about it. Yeah, just make some stuff up, yeah.
Now here's Cauley-Stein. 8 points for him. Here's Mason, and oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. And the Kings struggled last season, Greg. They did so because they just couldn't get stops in the defensive end.
And defense, something that this team will struggle with at times. A lot of it is they don't protect the rim or close out, particularly on that three-point shot. And so much of defense just boils down to challenging shooters whenever you can. It's about giving more effort on that side of the ball.
First free throw is good.
Well, yeah, some of my best memories were playing for the Kings during the early 2000s. The way we played together, the passing, our ball movement, our system, it was amazing.
And the Suns with a completely new group on the floor. And then for Sacramento, Zach Randolph, he's checked in for Cauley Stein. Brandon Ingram comes in for Vince Carter. And it's Bogdanovich in for Jackson. And Mason drops them both. And Chris, I know many Kings fans are longing for a return to glory. Those teams that you were on, easily the best for Sacramento.
Yeah, it took a lot to turn the organization around. We had to do it from the locker room and kind of change the culture there. And so it was great to have a guy like Vlade be there with me from the beginning. He, Jay, Will, Paige. So it was fun starting something, and it's going to be great watching.
Now here's Payton. Has to go Gobert. They set the screen. Feeds it to Jackson. The Suns need to get a shot off. That doesn't go either for Bosch.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Brandon Ingram with the 7'3" wingspan. I mean, guard skills with the reach of a center, that gives him a lot of positional versatility.
And you talk about the versatility of Ingram. What position, Chris, do you think he's best fit for?
Well, you look at a guy like Kevin Durant, who started as shooting guard and is now a combo forward. I mean, that might be a mold for Ingram.
And that one falls for Ingram. And Brandon Ingram doesn't show a lot of emotion on the court. He keeps a pretty even keel.
Yeah, sleepy-eyed, soft-spoken. His face is hard to read. If you ask his coaches, though, he's a sponge, always paying attention and absorbing his surroundings.
Fox, he's checked in for Mason. And it's tied up with that one.
Well, think about the high ceiling that this kid Brandon Ingram has. I mean, and with his long arms, I mean, he can reach the rafters.
Bosch, the screen. Payton kicks to Mitchell. Suns keep it alive. Payton against Fox. Gobert with a screen on Fox. Payton outside. Second chance shot. And the shot is long. The Kings have gone 1 of 6 from the field in the second quarter. It's been a rough period so far. Ingram kicks to Labissiere. Back to Ingram. Randolph a screen. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
And Ingram, with those long strides, devouring the distance to the cup.
Phoenix has gone 0 of 3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Bosch, the screen. Payton passes to Bosch. Back to Payton. Outside Bosch. Here's Mitchell. They need this one. And Labissiere sends it back.
Just phenomenal timing on the block. Labissiere leaping up for the force rejection.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Now here's Labissiere. Pass to Randolph. Gobert with the block. Payton against Fox. Now here's Payton. He's covered closely. The feed to Bosch. Dish now to Jackson. Payton with the ball. Guarded now by Randolph. No good from Payton. For Sacramento, they've gone just 2 of 8 shooting here in the second quarter. Now Ingram. He feeds it to Fox. Labissiere with the screen for Fox. Back to Ingram. Over Jackson. A second chance effort. And it's Phoenix with the rebound. Bosch has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Jackson kicks to Payton. Bosch the screen. Bogdanovich against Payton. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. And Chris, you were the #1 overall draft pick back in 1993. We've seen a lot of greats taken with that pick, but it also seems that those #1 picks who aren't as successful face a lot of pressure, a lot of criticism. There's a lot on your plate to handle. Can you talk about that for us?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure for some players being the #1 pick. But I've always laughed and I've thought about players that maybe people say maybe they were a bust, maybe this player wasn't good. Well, I think you should go back and look at the GM that picked them. I mean, the GM is the guy that assesses talent, So when there were a few players that were picked #1, and many players said, "What are you doing? We've played against him. We would never pick him #1." So before that, I think the NBA is about opportunity and situation. Look at a guy like Chauncey Billups. He went to Boston. He didn't do well at Boston. They called him a malcontent, said he couldn't play, and then he ended up being one of the best leaders that the game had. And so this game is all about situation and opportunity. Can you find the right fit? That's why if you're a player, you can't let frustration get to you. You have to continue to work hard, continue to prove your game, because when you play, you're auditioning for the other teams in the league as well. They're saying, wait a minute, we see his unique talent, skills, and we see his unique skill set, and we could use him. And so many times you just have to wait for the right position, the right situation.
Now here's Ingram. Over Jackson. Drains the 19-footer. Ingram's got the game tied up here for the Kings.
He just looks more engaged this second quarter. A far cry from his disappointing play in the first period.
Gobert the screen. Payton kicks to Gobert. There's Jackson with the 3. Can't hit that one. And Sacramento will go the other way with it. And this is their first time matched up with the Suns this season.
And they won the season series against this club last year, but, then again, so did a lot of other teams.
Randolph. Gobert with the block. And now the Suns a fast break. Here's Mitchell. He's covered by Bogdanovich. Gobert dishes to Payton. Bosch, a screen on Fox. Bosch, the screen. From the line. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. Ingram's got 4 rebounds in this game. Dishes it to Fox. Stolen by Jackson. Down low. Got a piece of it. Here's Bosch. Finally gets one to fall. He's now 1 for 5 with his first make. Here's Bogdanovich. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Nuggets in Denver. Outside, Randolph. Labissiere, the screen. Randolph passes to Fox. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Fox has got 5 now.
What you have to give Randolph, great understanding for the game. Knows how to generate offense.
Payton against Fox. A 3 from Bosch. A second chance effort, and it's finished off inside by Gobert. And the Suns lead by 2.
And without looking at the scoreboard, you think they were the team trailing and trying to fight their way back.
Randolph sets a screen for Fox. Gobert with the block. Here's Mitchell. He's got 5 from 11 feet away, and the Suns tack on 2 more.
And Bosch has a beautiful stroke from the mid-range. Once you give him room to shoot, he doesn't hesitate.
Off the screen. Rebound by the Suns. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
And they had a ton of missed opportunities at the foul line. That's always a game changer.
It's almost like a field goal kicker missing after all the hard work is put in. Just a frustrating way to go down.
Now, here's Fox. He's got 5, and Bogdanovich kicks to Ingram. Out in his own on the break. Oh, and the dunk by Mitchell.
And Jackson is a terrific passer at that forward position. Fantastic at setting the table for his guys.
That Unleash Chaos Under Armour replay really giving us a good look at the action. Here's Labissiere. Labissiere with the screen for Fox. That's a bucket. His 3rd of the game. He shot the ball 7 times.
Oh, look at the soft touch on the teardrop.
Payton against Fox. Payton outside. Kicks it to Bosch. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. Bosch has got the lead back up to 6 now for the Suns.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Fox kicks to Ingram. Now the pass to Bogdanovich. Randolph a screen. Out of bounds. It'll go to the Suns.
And checking out the numbers for Ingram. Last season's performance for him. Put up about 9 points per, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he continues to hone his game. I think the potential is there.
Oh, yeah, you can see the potential, but it's raw. He needs to keep refining that skill set.
Phoenix calls timeout. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
The Kings trail by 9. Mason kicks to Randolph. Passes it to Carter. Back to Randolph. Over Williams. Bank shot. No good.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
Plan a screen. Foul on the play. Basket counts, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
And doing a really solid job getting that ball inside. Much more of a physical presence here in the second.
For Phoenix, they have hit most of their free throws tonight, 5 of 6.
Yeah, a year ago, though, Kevin, 78% conversion rate from the free throw line. So that's a nice all-around effort.
One shot.
That free throw good from Daniels.
And it took them a while to find their touch at the line, but they have been red hot here in the second quarter.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Mason with it. He kicks it to Carter. Here's Randolph, and he's finally able to knock one down. Randolph's got 6.
Oh, that's just a plus play. Randolph in the catch and shoot, pretty confident when he squares up.
Now, here's Ulis. Stolen by Mason. And so that brings the first half to a close. Suns lead by 10. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Elfrid, what's working for you guys in the first half? How did you get yourselves going?
We were able to get out and run. We're getting it out the rim fast and getting up the court.
We'll see if you can keep running in the second half, Elfrid. Thank you. Back to you.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow. Right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain of a man is Shaquille O'Neal, and this hill of a man is Kenny the Jet Smith. For the Suns, the first quarter was pretty even. They did jump out to a lead in the opening period, but 4 points was the biggest it got. Their play in the second quarter was inspired as they turned what had been a tight contest into a 10-point ball game by the time we reached halftime. Let's hear from you, Shaq, on the Suns.
Well, what's really shifted the game in their favor has been their rebounding. They got a good edge on the boards, and that's a product of their hard work. All 5 guys been battling, putting everything they had to fight on the glass. That needs to remain the focus for 2 more quarters if they want to hang on to their lead.
And over to Kenny now. Your take on the Kings.
Poor efficiency on offense. That's what jumps out at me. You aren't going to win many games shooting under 35%. Bad shot selection, too much one-on-one play, not finishing with authority. Now, these are correctable errors. They could choose to come out in the second half and completely flip that script.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. Chris Bosh really making a difference here.
Unbelievable the way he dominated that offensive glass in those first 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Oh, yeah, creating multiple second chance opportunities, doing everything he can to try to help his team.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. The Kings trail by 10 on the court for Sacramento. Inside, it's Zebo and Cauley Stein. Fox is out there with Bogdanovich. And it's Ingram and it's small forward. Cauley Stein kicks to Fox. Can't get it to fall.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well. And you look back early in his career, Rudy Gobert, he kind of clogged things up just as much at the offensive end as he did defensively. And I tell you what, though, he's made significant strides, becoming much less of a liability on offense.
And it's Ingram missing. Suns leading by 10. Here's Mitchell. He dishes it to Payton. 5 to shoot. A 3. Fresh 24 for the Suns. It's tipped.
A 7'3" wingspan. Ingram's reach makes him a defensive factor.
Bogdanovich, know what? And Gobert last season with career highs in field goal percentage and free throw percentage.
And he averaged double figures for the first time in his career. If you ask me, he'll be a walking double-double in this league for a long time.
But they recover it. On the wing, Jackson. Pass to Gobert. Here's Mitchell. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Mitchell's got the first points of the third quarter up on the board for Phoenix. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And it's sent back by Bosh. And the block shot turns into a shooting foul. So the defensive effort there a bit too much, as the officials will send him to the line, and he'll shoot some free throws.
Oh, they call it old school. That's what it is when you watch Zach Randolph play the game of basketball. He's got such great skill and touch around the basket. We call it the old man game, and I tell you what, he gets it done every night.
2 shots.
Free throw drops for Zach Randolph. You know, as you've said, Greg, all the time, Zach Randolph can roll out of bed and get you 20.
I mean, he's just a natural scorer. He can post up, he can face up, and he just stays with it. An excellent offensive rebounder. This guy just has that nuance to his game that's made him so effective.
So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe.
And what a tremendous career for Zach Randolph. He hit some bumps early on, but he's played with tremendous consistency throughout his time.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Here's Fox. Phoenix able to drain the three. To the wing right side. Over Bosch. Offensive rebound. Gobert with the block.
Their stroke has not been what they needed it to be, but looks like they're going to keep going to it.
Teardrop shot. Jackson has the open look. Again, the miss by Jackson. The Kings trail by 15. Randolph sets a screen for Fox. Feeds to Randolph. From 11 feet away, and it falls over the rim and in. Randolph's got 9 points.
In the defense, doing everything in their power, but Randolph just too good in there.
Gobert the screen. Mitchell kicks to Jackson. Again, the miss by Jackson.
But he's just looked lost on offense, but luckily for him, his teammates have really stepped up in a big way.
Paulie Stein at the elbow. To the paint, it's tipped. Over Bosch. And with that, the Phoenix lead is cut down to 11 on the bucket from Zach Randolph.
And Randolph likes to face up and take that jumper. Just another part of his game.
Payton dishes to Jackson. Pass to Mitchell. Bosch, a screen on Bogdanovich. Here's Mitchell. Paulie Stein grabs the board.
Now look, if he can start turning some of these misses into makes, their lead is going to take a big jump.
Bogdanovich passes to Ingram. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. Suns leading by 11. And count it, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
For Phoenix, they have made 6 of their 7 attempts at the line in this one.
One shot, behind the lanes.
Free throw drops for Mitchell. The Kings trail by 14. Timeout is called. First of the game for Sacramento.
Yeah, you know, some of it's shot selection, some just bad luck, and they just can't get anything going.
Well, this is the dilemma as a coach. You wonder, do I need to call a timeout here? Do I need to settle these guys down? Should I let them play through it?
And a chance now to review the shot chart for Phoenix.
And this is a grown man shot chart right here. Not too much going on outside, but look at how things are for them in the paint. They are attacking the rim and not settling for the jump shot. And right now, it's paying off in bunches. If I'm them, then I'd continue to do the same thing going forward until an adjustment is made.
And Jackson there going right from dribbling to that shooting motion, showing great confidence by stopping on a dime for that pull-up.
Now, here's Fox. 7 points in the game. Goes up at the stripe. Rudy Gobert with the rebound. Gobert's got 11 rebounds in the game. Jackson drives in. That one goes in.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
And one of the things that stands out about Josh Jackson out of Kansas, his playmaking ability at that forward position. For a guy 6'8", you can put the ball in his hands and let him create offense for you, much like a Draymond Green.
Shooting one.
The free throw drops for Jackson. And Josh Jackson, Greg, out of Kansas, able to step into that point forward role well.
And in today's game, You can't have too many playmakers on the court at one time. Josh Jackson is Draymond Green 2.0. You know, a little bit better athlete, can be a difference maker defensively, but also has that high IQ on the offensive side to make everybody better.
Now here's Jackson. Brandon Ingram missing his last shot.
And shooters beware. Cauley-Stein is very crafty at how he rises up for the block. So good at catching scores off guard with his wide reach.
Ingram kicks to Fox. Randolph against Bosch. Just 4 to shoot. Will it go? And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And that's 13 points for Zach Randolph. Suns leading by 17. Gobert the screen. Jackson from long range. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. Payton's got 3 assists now in this one. And for Sacramento, they're shooting terribly up to this point, just 30%. Some ramshackle offense play there. Ingram kicks to Fox. Randolph, a screen on Payton. Outside Randolph. 5 on the clock. Here's Ingram. Rebounded by Jackson. Jackson's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
A frustrating start to this quarter for him.
So for the Suns, Len comes in for Chris Bosh. And Eula subbed in for Payton. And then for Sacramento, Labissiere's checked in for Randolph. And it's Jackson in for Ingram. And here is Ulis. Jackson setting the pick here for Ulis. Fox against Jackson. Back to Ulis. Jackson setting the pick here for Ulis. They grabbed their own miss. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to go on De'Aaron Fox. The Suns have shot the ball well from the free throw line, 8 of 9.
Taking 2 shots.
No good on the free throw. Daniels, he's checked in for the Suns. Ian Clark comes in for Mitchell. And then for Sacramento, Carter comes in for Bogdanovich. And it's Mason in for Fox. Good on the second free throw. You look back on the last 5 off seasons or so, Chris, and there are usually huge names that change teams. LeBron, Durant, the first names that come to mind. As you went through the free agency process, how much of an influence did your agent or any sponsorships play in your role in that decision in picking your new team?
Yeah, I think every relationship with the player and their agent is different. For me, I wanted to go back to a place that I felt that was loyal to me. I wanted to go back to Sacramento because there had never been a small market team. I felt a really small market team that won a championship. And I saw Karl Malone try for all of those years. I saw Stockton try for all those years. Reggie try for all those years. And so I really wanted to be one of the first to kind of bring that back to the city. So my agent, my shoe company, no one could have said anything to take me away from that. That was a personal mission that I want, and I knew what I was dealing with at that time. But I think for other guys it's different. Some guys, you know, want more commercials. They like to be in a bigger market. Some guys don't want that, and they're happy at staying under the radar like a Tim Duncan as long as he's winning. So I think for every guy is different, and I really believe that you have to make that decision for yourself and your family first, because if you do that, then the fans wherever you go will be much happier because you want to be there. You're not just buying time there.
Here is Mason. Rudy Gobert picking up that last basket. He used that pick to get in close. Mason's got 6.
Oh, simple screen, but there was a defensive mix-up that left the man wide open.
Ulis kicks to Clark. Good ball movement here by the Suns. Here's Daniels. Good work defensively by Carter.
He can hit that fadeaway shot, but with the D on him, you can't blame him for attempting that shot.
Jackson has the open look. No good with the triple. And here's Phoenix. They're on a 14-6 run. And there's the feed to Daniels.